Hi everybody, T. Swales here. It is Saturday evening and this is your weather briefing, and we're discussing the potential for severe weather around parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley in the next 24 hours. So this is a special briefing in that regard. A late season severe weather event seems to be taking shape, and it's all due to an intense area of low pressure that'll be moving across the Midwest in the next 24 hours. And tonight you can see a slight risk for severe weather exists over eastern Iowa and much of northwestern Illinois. And then during the day on Sunday, that's still in the area, at least in the morning hours. And then off to the east over eastern Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Ohio and Michigan, a moderate risk for severe weather. That's a high assessment, and there is the possibility of a tornado outbreak, a significant one at that, off to the east tomorrow as the storm really gets revved up. So let's talk about what's happening here, what's causing this, and it's a large area of low pressure that's now developing out in southeastern Colorado. This is going to race northeast in the next 24 hours and bomb out as it moves through Iowa and Wisconsin and up into the Great Lakes. And by bomb out, I mean the intensity of it is really going to increase in the next 24 hours. And because of this rapid change in pressure, it'll also produce a lot of winds around the Midwest, just straight line winds, no thunderstorms involved. We've got a 50-knot jet developing tonight that's coming in right out of the southwest, heading up into Iowa. That's transporting moisture and energy in here, and that's expected to explode thunderstorms here in the next couple of hours. And these would be the ones to watch for the potential of severe weather tonight. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has a mesoscale discussion out over northwestern Kansas and south central Iowa, where these thunderstorms are now beginning to kick off there, and it appears that these would be the ones that should intensify and move northeast on the jet later on tonight. And here we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's now been issued for northern Missouri, and you can see the thunderstorms around Kansas City there, just northwest of there, that have really popped up in the past few minutes. Some reds indicated. So those storms have really fired, and those would be the ones that have the potential of producing severe weather tonight. Now, generally speaking, these should be elevated in nature, and for that reason, the primary threat should be just hail, maybe some gusty winds. The tornado threat overnight not looking particularly good around here anyway, and that's certainly some good news, don't mean it in a bad way, but definitely I think the worst of the tornadoes should be during the day tomorrow and hopefully off to the east of our immediate area. This is a simulated radar then. It's coming in around 1 o'clock in the morning, and notice the line of storms that's formed from south central Iowa and over to the Quad Cities and parts of west central Illinois. They're kind of hugging or just south of Interstate 80. Those would be the storms that have the potential of producing some hail here later on tonight. So the model actually simulates where they think that the storms will be, and it's showing them in southeastern Iowa and west central Illinois later on in the evening and then during the overnight hours. Now the way we think this will play out is that that first wave will kind of die out, and then another round of thunderstorms should develop during the day tomorrow. So we've got our slight risk tonight from those initial thunderstorms, and then tomorrow, as the low pressure starts to work its way across Iowa, and you can see it'll be centered around Des Moines at 6 a.m. And the pressures will be falling very quickly, and strong south winds will be blowing through eastern Iowa and western Illinois. So after that first wave of thunderstorms develops, the next round is expected to kick off sometime late morning or afternoon as the low pressure tracks from Des Moines on up into Wisconsin. And you can see the process here as it gets way up into northeast Wisconsin around Green Bay in just a very short period of time, in 6 hours. So at noon, the actual cold front should be through eastern Iowa and already getting out of western Illinois. So I'm expecting this severe weather threat to be over pretty early in the day on Sunday. And then after that, the pressure gradient around that deep low will cause very strong winds, perhaps on the order of 40 or 50 miles an hour. But getting back to the severe weather, after tonight's initial round of storms, there could be another batch that forms late morning or early afternoon, and whether or not that gets into eastern Iowa or western Illinois, no way to know right now. But I do think as the day wears on, the threat will quickly shift off to the east, and that's where the worst of tomorrow's severe weather should be, from eastern Illinois off into Indiana and Ohio. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best there. Meantime, this is off the GFS, and this is what it's showing for winds tomorrow on the backside of the storm. And again, these are just straight line winds out of the northwest with some gusts that could easily be up there around 40-45 miles per hour. And during the afternoon, look for falling temperatures as colder air surges in behind the storm. So again, we'll be watching closely here in the next 24 hours for the potential of these strong storms and then colder weather to close out the weekend. That's your weather briefing tonight. Have a good weekend, and as always, roll weather.